Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in a calm, composed feeling of relaxation. And as you exhale, just release any feelings of worry, stress, or tension, enabling you to feel deeper and deeper relaxed. Breathing in a wonderful feeling of fascination, wonder, gratitude and joy, and releasing any feelings of stress or tension that's been getting in the way. And as you breathe in and breathe out, I want you to imagine a strange situation. I want you to imagine that you are living your day like any other day, making plans for the future, thinking about where you'll go on holiday, vacation, next summer, thinking about your to-do list, thinking about the problems that you have to resolve. And then I want you to imagine perhaps something as simple as crossing a road or doing something like just being a passenger in a car. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, imagine that your existence continues, but it becomes evident, obvious, that your physical body is no more. And maybe you can witness something, a car crash, maybe seeing your physical body laying motionless on the floor, but still with the ability to observe it, almost like you are in the body of a spirit, a ghost, an observer, able to hear everything, see everything, but not able to touch anything. Nobody can hear you, nobody can see you. And I want you to imagine your life in the days that would follow your death. Imagine observing the people that would be upset that you're not there anymore. Imagine seeing people see you, maybe at your funeral, or maybe in some kind of situation where they have to identify a body, that you can observe other people seeing your lifeless body, and yet you can't talk to them, you can't communicate with them, you can just observe. And I want you to imagine seeing those people you love the most dealing with the aftermath. Maybe that's having to call up your bank, maybe your employer, to inform them, to go through the inevitable procedural things that just need to happen when someone isn't there anymore. Maybe certain accounts need to be closed down, people informed, maybe funeral arrangements. I want you to imagine you're just observing it all. I want you to imagine loose ends in your life that other people have to resolve. Maybe there's certain things that involve property that now have to be sold, or arrangements need to be made. I want you to think of things that you had started that you would never get to see finish. All those projects you started, the books you started to read, things you started to learn. I want you to get an overall sense of unfinished business. You would have loved to have finished those things, even if it was just to help someone else avoid the inconvenience of doing something that you could have done yourself. I want you to think of all the plans that you made that you never got to complete. What were the places in the world that you always intended to see, but in this perception would never see? All those things you were meant to do that you never got around to doing. And maybe there's emotions that come up for you. Being the observer, witnessing your own death, your own funeral. I want you to see the people who are sad, but also notice the people that you think would be ambivalent. Who would be there at the funeral and who wouldn't? Who are the people that would be bothered and emotionally affected by your absence? And who would just carry on as normal? I want you to get a sense of deep insight as you just observe the aftermath of your own death, with an overwhelming feeling of perspective. You've heard many people say that life is short, but this untimely death, unexpected death, caught you off guard. You expected to live years or even decades longer, and yet here you are, just a spirit observing the aftermath of your own death. Notice the emotions and the thoughts that come up, with an overwhelming sense that perhaps there's more that you could have done to make the most of your life when you had the opportunity to live it. I want you to think, as you remember your life, how much time was wasted in pointless arguments and meaningless grudges. How much time was wasted on insignificant TV shows or time wasting maybe on social media. That now that there is no more life from this perception, there's an overwhelming feeling that you could have lived your life differently. I want you to think, if only I had another chance to do it differently. And you may recall the story of Scrooge from A Christmas Carol, witnessing his death and the aftermath of his death, but then waking up on Christmas morning with a new chance, a new opportunity, the ability to do things differently, that they thought they had died, but they woke up alive. I want your mind to be open to ideas and suggestions that could enable you to think differently of your life and your legacy. That if you were to live again, how would it feel to be fully immersed in the present moment, savoring each experience as it unfolds? And I want you to imagine doing that. Imagine waking up after feeling that you were already dead. Wouldn't you feel a deep sense of gratitude for the gift of life and the opportunities they present to you? Imagine being surrounded by the people you love, with the opportunity to share meaningful moments and creating cherished memories. When people have a near-death experience, in many cases it gives them a new lease of life. And sometimes they embrace their values as guiding stars, helping to align choices and actions with what truly matters. Some people have a bucket list, a list of all the things they want and desire before they kick the bucket. And maybe you have a bucket list and maybe you don't, but if you imagine all the things that you desire as a roadmap to adventure and personal growth, and feel how good it would feel if every week, every month, you were making progress of ticking off different destinations, different goals. Because some people believe that life is a journey, and every experience, whether big or small, contributes to you a unique story. And how would you feel if you weren't just able to live your life? What if you were able to leave a beautiful legacy for future generations? A testament to your knowledge, wisdom, skills, love, and contributions to the world. Some people coast through life in a meaningless haze. But what if you were able to feel a deep sense of purpose in everything you do? Knowing that your actions have a positive impact on yourself and others. That you are the architect of your own destiny, crafting a life that reflects your dreams and desires, enabling you to embrace the joy of spontaneity and adventure, allowing life surprises to enrich your journey. I want you to imagine seeing yourself fully engaged in your passions. Maybe it's traveling, or maybe it's creating, or perhaps pursuing your favorite hobbies and experiences. Life is short, and you acknowledge the power of kindness and love, both in giving and receiving. A gift to the world, but also a source of fulfillment, a gift to yourself. And maybe you can think of your life as a canvas, and with each day, you paint a masterpiece of experiences and memories. Life isn't meant to be lived away from the world around you, so imagine finding a deep connection to nature and the world around you, finding solace and inspiration in its beauty. Visualize yourself setting aside time for self-care and rejuvenation. Life is short, but you can make it longer by investing in yourself, good food, being more active, nurturing your well-being. And what if every day you were to appreciate that every moment is an opportunity to learn, grow, and evolve as a person? In life, there are radiators and there are drains. See yourself as a radiator of positivity, emitting love, joy, and kindness to those around you, leaving the world a better place than you found it. And you can embrace the idea that you are constantly evolving, and your legacy is an ongoing creation filled with compassion and wisdom. And perhaps you can imagine generations after you're gone, And imagine your life as a story, and you can observe people telling your story. A story worth telling and worth listening to, with chapters filled with adventure, love, and transformation. And I want you to imagine that, what if this untimely death was just a dream? And the very next day you awaken with a second chance at life. Would you do anything differently? Or would you continue exactly as you were? And allow that question to ruminate in your conscious and unconscious mind. And perhaps when you wake up tomorrow, the answer will be clear. Breathe in and breathe out and feel like you're returning to the present with a deep appreciation and gratitude for life. With more clarity on what you value from life, what your reason for life is, and the legacy and impact you'd like to leave behind. Breathe in and breathe out. Feel like you're returning to the present as you take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Just wiggle those fingers, wiggle those toes. Feeling connected with who you are in this moment at this time. And very soon I will count from 1 to 10 to awaken you, and you will awaken feeling grateful, positive, guided, with a deep appreciation of the scarcity and value of life and those people in your life. Starting to count to awaken you. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.